Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are ready to start the next session. I'm delighted to introduce Mr. Simon Nelson, who is the Chief Executive of FutureLearn. FutureLearn is a leading social learning platform and UK's first provider of massive open online courses. Not just the first provider, but I think it's also the largest, the biggest. Practically every university and institution is on the FutureLearn platform. Simon has a background in digital disruption as a pioneer in taking media brands and content online. He spent 14 years at the BBC, where he was instrumental in putting radio online and overseeing its podcasting service and the innovative radio player. He then moved on to head up all digital content activities for BBC's television divisions, where he led the development of the BBC iPlayer and several other groundbreaking online products and services. More than everything else, I want to thank Simon personally, because he had a very tight schedule. And despite his tight schedule, he agreed to speak to us. In fact, we were trying to bring him here physically, but because of his schedule, he was not able to travel here. But he agreed to address us virtually. Thank you, Simon, and we're looking forward to a very interesting session with you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So can you hear me okay? Excellent. Yeah, I'm speaking to you here today from London, quite a rainy London, as usual. I don't know if you can see that, but it's some regret that I was unable to make it in person today. I would love to have visited and would love to find more excuses to visit India. So I'm going to give a short presentation because I imagine that many of you aren't familiar with FutureLearn. And so we're going to try out a couple of different approaches to technology, which we will see if they work. So firstly, I'll share my screen and show some slides. So just bear with me one moment. So I'm going to assume you can hear those and you can see these unless I hear differently. Okay, so I'd like to talk about our philosophies about how one can bring the university and the student or learner closer together through the implementation of effective digital product development. So just a few moments on the context, which I'm sure you're all familiar with and we all share, but a variety of global trends that we believe is shaping the future of universities and higher education. So firstly, the global scarcity of education, particularly in those societies and those economies that are going to need it most. The vast disparity between supply and demand of adult education. Secondly, the trend towards greater automation as machines are able to take over and replace a whole range of jobs and work that previously was done by people. Thirdly, the mass adoption of digital services across a whole range of industries, which is creating demand for a whole range of new jobs that just didn't exist a few years ago, and many that don't exist now but will be needed in just a few years. And therefore, significant skills gaps, particularly in areas of technology. And all of this driving to ongoing job disruption for people who can no longer expect to stay in the same career throughout their lives, but indeed will have to reskill and change jobs frequently throughout their lives. And as a result, the learner of the 21st century, we believe, is a digital learner for life. And universities and other education providers need to rethink their roles in society as not just serving those people who leave school or want to take a postgraduate qualification just after undergraduate, but actually people throughout their lives who are going to need and demand opportunities to continue to learn and develop new skills. And so it's incumbent on the universities to change and to transform themselves. because the model of working that they've been using for the last 100 years is simply not going to be fit for purpose, our belief is, in the next 10 to 20 years. And so we see ourselves as providing some of the support to universities to enable, for example, blended learning, to help bridge them into delivering fully online degrees, and to rethink the types of credentials they're offering that will resonate with this new learner. And so we founded FutureLearn 5 years ago, almost exactly. We are a wholly owned subsidiary of the British Open University, which for 50 years has pioneered online and distance learning. But 5 years ago, it launched FutureLearn as a startup, as an entry to the world of MOOCs. And our vision is to build a global community where everyone learns together and can enjoy access to the education that they need to transform their lives. And our purpose is to help everyone fulfill that potential in a changing world by transforming access to education. And how are we going to do that? Well, our mission is to use design, technology, and partnerships to create enjoyable, credible, and flexible courses and qualifications that improve working lives. And we believe we're bringing something fresh and different into this market. And I'm going to talk about 3 broad areas where we believe we're doing this. The first of which is the development of our world-class online learning platform. So 5 years ago, we came into the market, we were later to the market than American platforms like Coursera, edX, Udacity, and therefore we had to play catch up, but we also had an opportunity to look at what was happening in the market and see how we could improve on it. And the key thing we decided was that we had to build our own platform and take some of our learning from outside the higher education sector. As you've heard, my background was at the BBC, and many of the team that formed FutureLearn also came from other industries and digital backgrounds. And so we decided to try and bring some of what we'd learned in other industries into higher education. And that meant building a world-class online learning platform. I'm now going to see if I can actually demonstrate this platform on my mobile. So I said we would test the technology here. So just give us one moment while we try to do that. Okay, yeah, that's worked so far. I'm hoping you can see there my mobile phone, which I've just plugged in. And I deliberately show FutureLearn on a mobile phone because it was one of the first principles we brought into our product development. If it didn't work on a mobile, it wasn't going on the platform. And it still surprises me that many learning systems cannot work in this way, that they break when you try to access them on a mobile phone. So on the homepage, you can see that we have, as of this moment, 7,196,801 people who have signed up for courses in the 4 years since we started delivering them. We're promoting a whole range of career opportunities. Today it is how to become a nutritionist, if that appeals to you. And we're pointing people to 4 key online learning categories that we're prioritizing today: business and management, health and psychology, tech and coding, teaching. But we also offer a whole range of other courses across the sciences, across the arts, across languages. Today, we always launch our courses on a Monday. And a whole range of courses have started today. So an introduction to screenwriting from the University of East Anglia, Come Rain and Shine about climate from the University of Reading, Concepts in Sustainable Development from the University of Leicester, End of Life Care for People with Dementia from the University of East Anglia. A whole range of courses, and they're just the ones that have opened today. Generally, people can sign up to hundreds of different courses on FutureLearn at any one moment. I'm now going to take you and show you one of those courses. that I've signed up to. I hope you're getting, as I'm doing this, that the design is very simple, very uncluttered, very clean, and hopefully attractive. And again, we have really prioritized these areas above some of the other platforms that we see out there. So there's a sign. I'm signed up to a course on digital skills, first aid for babies from the International Red Cross. But one I thought I'd show you is this one, Business Fundamentals. It's on effective communication from the Open University. So it's a 4-week course, and I'm 2 weeks into it. So let's have a look at this one. So I'll take you back to week 1 so you can have a look. Again, very simple, easy to navigate, I hope you're seeing. Becoming an effective communicator is the first step. There's a video, which I haven't really got time to show now, but that explains what's going on in the course, what it's about. And then some text explaining. And then one of the key differences of our platform is we really try to emphasize the social aspect of learning. So we encourage on every step of every course people to join a discussion. And in that discussion, we don't send them to a separate message board or chat room. The discussion happens alongside and in context with what they've just been learning. And this being the first step just has people introducing themselves. So an hour ago, Dave, who's a corporate trainer in Japan, joined the course. Kimberly, who's looking for a new job and wants to develop effective communication as a skill. Mehdi Husseini has recently joined 2 hours ago. Sarah Mesquida. And Karina, who I think that's Greek or Russian language potentially, and then Jay from the Philippines. So I hope what you're getting here is a flavor of, just on one of our courses, lots of discussion and lots of an international audience coming together and sharing their learning. So this will carry on through the course. So the next step is about what is effective business communication. And again, 87 comments there. And then the third step is actually a discussion step. And we want people there to share their experiences of business communication. And here you can see 402 comments have been left. And here we can just have a look. Again, I haven't looked at these, but Alan Bentley is providing quite detailed explanation of some of the challenges he has, particularly because it appears he's dyslexic. Sandy is a shipping agent and seems to be talking about communication with people from other languages. So I can't spend much longer on this. I'd encourage all of you to just go and look at one of our courses, and particularly to look at that social interaction, because we think we're world leading in that area. And we think that learning is most effective when people engage and interact not just with teachers, but with each other. And the whole learning experience feels a more communal experience that drives success. On average, nearly 50% of people doing our courses will leave comments in those areas. We believe that's quite significantly higher than any other platform. But I just want to show you one final thing on the mobile, then we'll go back to the deck, which is we now offer not only short courses, but programs, which are collections of courses that are bundled into more valuable qualifications. And as of about 6 months ago, we now offer full degrees on the platform. Now, to begin with, these are postgraduate degrees only, and we have 2 degree awarding partners, Deakin University in Australia, and Coventry University in the UK, which is about to launch its first master's in nursing. And both universities adopt a similar approach, where they take our course structure and our program structure and break it down, break a whole degree down into these sections, so that the learner can go step by step through the course and effectively do the vast majority of the learning on their mobile phone. They can do it at their own pace. They can pay for each module as they go through. And our belief is that this more flexible and stackable approach to breaking down the full degree into the chunks that the learner can take at their own pace is part of the future development of this sector. So I'm now just going to flip back to my deck, so if you'll bear with me for one moment. And again, I'm going to assume you can see this unless I hear differently. So I spoke about our platform, social learning, how we want our courses to be enjoyable, how we believe the social learning approach makes them more credible, and we're introducing this vast change in flexibility for the learner. We also, however, want to bring together the world's leading educators to deliver these courses. And we currently have around a quarter of the world's top universities providing courses on the platform. We started in the UK. So we have nearly 60 partners in the UK, around 30 of the top 40 British universities, including UCL, University of Bath, Cardiff, and of course the Open University, our founder, but also a whole range of other non-university partners, including the British Council, who've provided some of our most successful courses in areas like language and teaching English. But we've also expanded significantly internationally. We have probably around 10 university partners in Australia and New Zealand. We have a range of partners across Asia Pacific, across Europe, and as of last year, across America as well. And again, a range of non-university partners such as UNESCO and the International Red Cross. And what we're trying to do is network them together with a massive global community of learners. So we now have over 7 million learners who've signed up to courses, most of whom come from outside the UK, although a strong base of those is in the UK. What we're particularly proud of is the diversity of this audience, reflecting the fact that we've built a platform we believe is one of the most accessible, enjoyable, and effective to use. We believe we're attracting a different range of learners than other players in this market. So 60% of our audience is female. We believe that's at least the direct inverse of what other players are offering. Our biggest audience comes from 26 to 45-year-olds, reflecting that need for education beyond the traditional undergraduate or postgraduate age. And we have a whole range of people in work, but also looking for work, as well as retired, making up our learner base. This has attracted larger partners to deliver really massive, scalable campaigns working with us. So the British Council and the British government have combined to run a campaign to showcase UK higher education using FutureLearn. And what they offer is free upgrades to learners from 124 countries that they've identified as priorities for promoting UK education. That includes India. So Indian learners can come to FutureLearn now and for the next few weeks and get free upgrades for a whole range of courses from UK universities. And another example is where a government, part of the UK government department has commissioned FutureLearn along with a range of other partners to train up the next generation of cybersecurity experts in UK schools. And we're working with BT, with SANS, to develop courses and to use the platform in ways that traditional platforms just can't, to really deliver training and address skills gaps at scale. So all of that, I hope, combines to show you that we don't see ourselves any longer as purely a MOOC platform, but actually a catalyst and an enabler of our partners' digital transformation. And there's a whole range of additional tools and services that we provide to support our partners in rethinking what a university should be doing in a market that is changing so rapidly. But I've talked now, I think, for long enough. I'm going to pause there and take some questions. So again, just one moment while we hopefully get the video back on screen.
So kindly stand up, introduce yourself, and then speak.
Good evening, sir. I'm Monika Khanna from the KJ Somaya Institute of Management Studies and Research in Mumbai in India. I've been eagerly listening and very keenly listening to your presentation. I had a question to ask you. You said that you'll also offer degrees online. Now, what is the industry acceptance of these degrees? And are they useful in the job market?
Yeah, so I mean, we only started offering these 6 months ago, but basically these are the same degrees or the full degrees that are offered by Deakin University or by Coventry University. So it is Coventry and Deakin, very well established and reputed universities who award these degrees, not FutureLearn. So FutureLearn provides the platform and the pedagogy to support the transition of these degrees online. But yeah, they carry the same recognition as any other degree from any other master's degree from Deakin or from Coventry.
My name is Ruchi. I am I'm part of the learning and development team at Samsung R&D. I have two small questions for you. One, since we've been debating during the day about the completion rate of MOOCs, just to give us an idea, what is the completion rate of MOOCs, and does your platform or the team itself do something to give a better experience to the learners as far as completing and closing a course is concerned? And the second quick question I have, second quick question is related. That's more about, do you have corporate partnerships, and do corporate partnerships like work? Are you getting people online with that?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, two great questions. So, the first thing on completion rates, yes, we particularly pride ourselves on the numbers of people we get to complete courses. So the first, so of people who start our courses, around, let me check, around 30% of them will do the majority of the course, so more than 50%, and 21% complete the course. So that's the people who start the course. You do get lots of people who sign up for courses and don't start them. So, but we measure people who've actually started the course. What we're particularly proud of is that nearly 50% of people doing our courses will interact in some way in our social environments. And that's the key that we're using to try to drive greater engagement, greater completion, greater learning outcomes, to actually get these people interacting and engaging with each other. And there is pedagogical science underpinning this, that is a particularly effective way of delivering learning outcomes and making the learning experience less of a solitary experience and helping people feel part of a community that helps them to complete. In terms of the second question, yes, we do have corporate partners. So we have some who are providing open courses. So Accenture, the multinational consulting and accounting firm, is providing a whole range of courses for digital skills development on the platform, which we've just opened, for example. But we also have private partnerships as well. So, for example, with a multinational pharmaceutical company or a multinational car manufacturer. And they're using the platform privately and taking cohorts of their leadership teams, developing specific courses for them on that company's leadership values and styles. And they're using the platform both to embed new learning, but also get conversation going between countries and between people at different levels. And it is fascinating when you introduce our social learning methodology and peer review between people at several different levels in a multinational and across several different continents. And the feedback we're getting from that is really phenomenal. And I should have said that in my partner base, I didn't show any Indian organizations because we don't have any Indian partners yet. I would love to open up some discussions to see if there are partnerships to help bridge us into India. But also corporates, and of course, like Samsung, we're very interested in talking and exploring further.
I am Parameshwaran from Ministry of Human Resource Development. Can somebody take a graduate or a postgraduate program of your partner university fully online? And if yes, what the scheme of examination, how the examinations are conducted? Thank you.
So on the full degrees, the majority of the learning, the vast majority of the learning will take place in FutureLearn. And that will include some tests within the courses that we provide, and some occasions when there is a tutor-marked assessment, at which stage we will integrate with a third-party software like Turnitin to pass the assessment to the university. There may be some instances where we hand the learner over to the university for assessment, but primarily we create a handshake between the FutureLearn system and the university system. And the university system will register the students, will qualify them, so make sure they have the requisite English language skills, prior learning, etc. So a lot of the administrative tasks are still conducted by the university, but the learning is why they're coming to us, to give the highest quality learning experience. And I think that many of these providers in the past, in an immature market, they've been able to get away with quite a poor learning experience. Our bet is that this market is maturing and quality is going to become more and more important.
Hi, my name is Rajiv. So since you're working with so many education service providers, you generate a lot of data, right? In terms of people are signing up for a course, they're not completing it. So do you provide them reports where you advise them or give them directions or pointers as to what they could change so that the course adoption is greater?
Very much so. If I was presenting for longer, the next step I would go into is explaining all of those additional services that we provide to our partners, because what we learned early on is that it's okay to just build a platform, but even quite advanced universities are still unsure of themselves when it comes to delivering quality online courses. And so we realized quite early that what they were valuing as much from us as the platform was the additional support and services that my team provided them in creating good quality online courses and quality assuring them. So actually, I've built up quite a large team now. We're 120 people overall, but about 15, 20 of them are in partner support services. And some of that is about it. It's very easy to build a course on FutureLearn. You don't have to learn any code or anything like that. You can just, we have a very simple content management system. What is difficult is to create a good course. It's to use our social learning methodology well, and to create high quality video, to engage the learner in new ways. And we have to tell universities to kind of forget what they're doing in the classroom. Don't imagine you can just video a lecture and put some tests on it. You have to rethink the learning experience for the online platform. And we provide a lot of support in doing that. And of course, that's backed up by the phenomenal quantity and quality of data that we're now getting, that yes, we will share with the universities because, and we will help them to analyze and interpret. Because if they do that well, they will create better courses. So it's a virtuous circle for us and for the learner.
Hi, Simon. Wanted to check with industry accepting online degrees. Will the universities which are on the lower value chain, will this existence be questioned? And emergence of the top universities, will there be a consolidation of those?
So it's a very good question, and I'll keep my answer brief as well. I think that there is going to be sizable change in this market in the next 10, 20 years. And it's going to be driven by digitization as well as some of those other trends I identified. I think that could mean challenges for lower ranked universities. That may lead to consolidation. But what I'm seeing at the moment is I don't think any university is moving fast enough to embrace the opportunities that digital offers. And so to my mind, the lower ranked university that is prepared to disproportionately invest in digital, to move faster than actually the higher ranked universities who I guarantee they are protected by their their brands and their historical position in society. And as a result, they're not moving as fast as maybe they need to. So there are opportunities for any player in this market to actually spot where the trends are going and imagine itself for that future. There's risk, but there's enormous opportunities for the university as a whole and for society in general if they do so.
I'm Dr. Sarit Kumar. Simon, I just want to know, when you're working with countries like Africa, Afghanistan, and UAE, is it possible to make some customized courses for them? Because that is what their government wants. Because the government works for the students there. They subsidize the courses.
Absolutely, yes. So, we as a company, we have developed the capability not only to deliver and distribute the courses, but to produce the courses, either doing it directly ourselves or supporting and enabling our partners to do that. The reason I showed some of those large-scale governmental initiatives is we're now starting to be recognized as a really powerful way of delivering scalable solutions to skills gaps. And we would love to engage outside the UK with those kind of opportunities as well.
Simon, I want to thank you very much. I wish we had some more time to talk to you, but unfortunately, we've already shot 10 minutes beyond our scheduled time. We're very grateful, and I'm taking your offer very seriously that the next time we'll give you more time and we'll invite you to come over and speak to the audience in person.
Offer accepted. I would love that.
Great, thank you. And on that note, I would like to conclude the session. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Have a nice evening.
Thank you, and you.